Hi guys, it's really early on, what is today? I think today is Wednesday morning. It is 6:45 in the morning and I got up really early. I get up really early anyway. I usually up about 5:30, but this morning I got up at 5 o'clock because I'm actually going to the hairdresser this morning, and it's about 40-45 minutes away, but I always allow at least an hour because you never know what's going to happen with the traffic. And my hairdresser is in Tauranga, which means I have to go over the Caviar, which is a hill area in the Waikato area, because she's in Tauranga. But actually in this last month, my hairdresser left the salon she was at and she set up her own salon, and it is in Otamotai in Tauranga, which I actually haven't been to that area for a long time. It's been a while since I lived in Tauranga, and even then I didn't live anywhere near that area. So I've put it into the Google Maps. I know how to get into the Tauranga area, obviously, but once I get just outside there, I've got to take a different direction than I normally would. So I just wanted to go just that little bit earlier as well. And then I had to organise Ruben. He's my Newfoundland puppy. Those of you that haven't been watching my Instagram or seen my other videos, and he's going to be 15 weeks tomorrow, so he's still quite little. So I had to get him up, give him breakfast, get him out, get him exercised. And of course, being a puppy, he is crated at night, and then the rest of the time he's normally got all the house and all the backyard as well. But while I'm away, I need to crate him again, because not only I just don't know what I'd come back to if I left him alone for that long. Normally he does sleep this time of the morning, but you just never know with a puppy. So I've given him, he's also had his breakfast as I said, but I've also given him a piece of toast and then put him back in the crate. And normally he sleeps, so he should be pretty good. But it is a beautiful day, and the weather has finally cooled down. So we didn't have to have the air conditioning going last night. Was it the day before yesterday? The temperature reached, and I did convert it to Fahrenheit, it would have been about 35 or 36 degrees Celsius, which is about 96 Fahrenheit, and it was just too hot. And when it gets that hot during the day, it never really cools down that much overnight. When it's supposed to get to the overnight low, it doesn't sort of reach that till about 3 or 4 in the morning. But anyway, the temperatures have cooled right down, and it just feels so much nicer. And I think today it's going to be a high of like 23 or 24 degrees, and that is just that's just much more pleasant. So I've got my hair tied back because I didn't do much with it. It was washed yesterday morning, and I wasn't going to wash it again this morning before I go to the hairdressers. So I've just put it back in an elastic band since I'm getting my hair done. But I'm really looking forward to seeing my hairdresser's new salon. She only opened, I think it was yesterday, so it's really brand new. So if I can, I will take some video footage of the new salon. I'm just in a rural area at the moment because I live rurally, and it's got to be very careful when you're pulling out on different roads. I've got my camera facing more towards my window here, so hopefully you'll be able to see a little bit of scenery while I'm driving. Now, the everyday makeup video that this is, I did that yesterday, but I'm wearing exactly the same makeup today. So I've got the same foundation, same eyeshadow, blush, lipstick and all that. And I've also brought a coffee with me because I've already had a coffee this morning. Those of you that have seen my other videos know that I love my espresso. I have an espresso machine, and then I make one for when I drive a distance, probably about more than half an hour. I always make a coffee and take that with me as well. So not this weekend, but the weekend after, I've got Ruben's first dog show. I used to show my other Newfoundland that I had, Solomon. I used to show him quite a lot. And we've been doing a bit of practice at home, and he's all of a sudden the last week or two, everything's just sort of starting to click with him, and he's standing and he's getting better at being still while I groom him and clip his nails and do a little bit of trimming as well. But knowing a Newfoundland, they sort of have a little bit of a sense of humour when it comes to the day in the ring. No doubt anything can happen, but considering that he's a baby puppy, you know, a bit of leeway is given. But at the moment he's going really well on the lead, and like I said, he's standing, and because you've got to stack them and that for the judges, and then sort of gate them. That's the way that they move around the ring, and he does that really beautifully. So I don't do a lot of training with him. He's only very little, and they get sick of it very quick. So I groom him and do that little bit of training. It's only 10 minutes at night. It's no longer than that. And he always gets a little bit of a kibble treat when we've just finished. Got something on my mirror here that keeps sort of falling down. So no longer than 10 minutes. They get very sick of it. And just that little bit each day, it's amazing how much they take in. And like I said, and all of a sudden this last week or two, it's just all of a sudden started to click. And it's quite amazing when you think, because at 14 or 15 weeks tomorrow, but that is still really little. So he's actually doing really well. This video is the day before that I get my hair done, so hopefully I remember, and I'll wear the same makeup that I'm going to be putting on today for the makeup that I'm going to do in that vlog where I'm going over to the hairdresser. So I'm going to start off with primer, skincare all done. I put on sunscreen again about 5 or 10 minutes ago. I'm going to put on the new Beiges. This is the limited edition, and I think it's sold out. It is the Healthy Winter Glow Primer, and this is the one in Icy Beige. This is also now available in New Zealand at Smith & Co's. And at this stage, well, it was yesterday, this was still available, the shade, and also the copper one, and also the lightest one as well. I'm not too sure whether I'm going to get any of the others because it's limited edition. And if I end up really loving them, I won't be able to get them again. So I've worn this with quite a few of my foundations, and it works really, really beautifully. And you can see it gives a really beautiful glow, but at the same time, it doesn't go greasy. It really is a gorgeous primer, but I still love the one that was released last year by Chanel, the La Base mattifying one. That's really gorgeous too, but this is really beautiful for a change. Now I have worn this with the foundation that I'm about to put on, and it does go really beautifully. So I'm going to use the Prairie. This is the Skin Caviar Essence in Foundation, and the other day, because this comes with a refill when you buy this is a fairly pricey foundation, but it does come with a spare refill, and I just used up the other one, so I replaced it with the refill that came with it. This is a beautiful foundation. It is absolutely gorgeous. I took this with me when I went to the States because I know no matter what the weather is like with my oily skin, when I put this on, it just makes my skin look really beautiful. Now you can put this foundation on using your fingers if you want to, or a beauty blender, which is what I'm going to use today, and it also goes on beautifully with a brush as well. They also come with little sponges as well, and to be honest, I actually haven't used that, but I have seen a couple of videos where people do use the sponge that comes with this foundation, and that looks really beautiful as well. It's just such a gorgeous foundation. So I'm just going to press into the cushion there. And like I was saying, every time that I go to use this foundation, I know that it's just going to look absolutely gorgeous. Now, I did watch a video the other day where someone said they couldn't detect a fragrance, but it definitely has a fragrance in it. So if you don't like fragrance in your foundations, then you won't like this one. Now, someone's probably going to ask me, do I prefer this one or the other one, the one that comes in the jar and has the little paddle as well? To be honest, I don't really think there's much in it. Maybe out of the two, I prefer this one. But either one I can wear in summer. It's the middle of summer here now in New Zealand. Both wear beautifully in the middle of summer or in the winter. Possibly this one, but only because mainly, like I said, I took this one with me when I went overseas. So it's just that little bit more travel friendly because it comes in a cushion instead of the bottle. But really, I don't think there's much between the two. What I should do at some stage, if I ever get round to it, is a video with one of the La Prairie foundations on this side and the Essence on the other, and see if I can really see a difference. But now that I've nearly put it all on, it just makes my skin look absolutely beautiful. It is a really gorgeous foundation. And as I was saying, these are fairly pricey, but when I run out of this one, I will be buying a backup, and the other La Prairie foundation, when I get to the end of that, I will buy another one of that as well. I just love them so much. Now, this was out of stock in many places last year when I was looking. I think I did a video on it. I think Neiman Marcus might have had a few shades, but now this is back in stock at quite a few different retailers. So what I've done is I've listed and linked all the ones that I could find that sell this in the US. Because this is a more pricey foundation, you may already have it, so you may want to back up or you may want to try it. And I've listed the different places that sell it because over there I know that you guys have great deals at different places, and there's point systems and reward systems and things like that. So this is probably a good time to buy it if you're able to get some points, or just to add to some sort of tier level that you may have with that place. And that's why I've listed those different places. But it is just absolutely gorgeous. I think it looks beautiful. So today for concealer, I'm going to use the Bobbi Brown one. This is really beautiful. This is the Intensive Serum Concealer. This is a gorgeous concealer, and I took this with me when I went overseas as well. It looks really beautiful. I have quite a few concealers in my collection because of my channel, and I'm really making an effort to rotate through them all. And probably the concealers is something I could do a video on as well. I think I've got about 9 or 10 different concealers, and I could rank them or show you which ones that maybe I prefer. But all the ones that I do have in my collection I do use. So I'm just going to grab a brush just to blend the concealer in, and then once I've finished blending with the brush, then I'll just tap over it with my fingers. Eyebrows are done, and I've also put some eyeshadow primer on as well. And this was new to me. I bought this last year because it was really hard to get in New Zealand. But this is the NARS eyeshadow primer, and I absolutely love it. And I think I've been forgetting to put it in my description box below, but I recommend it. It is a really lovely eyeshadow primer. And as I've spoken about before, I need to wear an eyeshadow primer with my oily skin because I also have oily eyelids as well. So now I'm just going to powder under my eyes. This is the Westman Atelier, the Vital Press Skincare Powder. And this is the one that I use under my eyes because it sets the concealer but still leaves underneath my eyes really moisturized and doesn't dry them out. So even though it's no good really for the rest of my face, with my oily skin, for under my eyes, it is the perfect powder, and I absolutely love it. And this is the second one that I've purchased. And then to powder my face, I'm going to use the La Prairie. It is the Skin Caviar Loose Powder. Again, this is a pricey product, but you get a huge amount with this powder, more than any other powders that I've got in my collection. And not only do you get this that comes in a huge size, but you also get a small travel size with it as well. So although initially it is quite pricey, you do get a lot of product. And for bronzer, I'm going to use the Hermes one. This is in the shade 03 Sahara. And I think I wore this in my last video that I did as well. But I'm really enjoying using it. I was talking about how I was just sorting through my drawers. I do that quite a bit because just so I can rediscover makeup that I've sort of put to one side. Because when I find a product, when I have one that I really love and it's newer to me, I tend to use that for quite a while. So it's quite good to go through my drawers and find things that are sitting at the back and try them out again. And this is one of those products and I absolutely love it. I think it is a really beautiful bronzer. It is a gorgeous shade for me. And also it just blends out absolutely beautifully. And for eyeshadow today, I'm going to use, this is the fairly new, this is the Dior Backstage, and this is the Smokey Essentials. This is absolutely beautiful. Now, I have tried this once and I loved it. I really love these Backstage palettes. They are perhaps a little bit more powdery than the normal Dior quints, but they are still a really beautiful formula. I find they last really well on my lids, and they also blend out really beautifully as well. Now, there are other creators that have already reviewed this and done swatches and comparisons. Today, I'm just going to be doing a look with it, and I'll show you which shades that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to start off with the shade here. This one is called, this is Shimmer Beige, and I'm just going to just put that all over my lid, through the crease and up onto the brow bone as well. Then I'm going to go into the shade here. This one here is called Soft Rose, and just going to start building up the colour. I'm going to go into the shade called Soft Taupe, and I'm actually just going to put this all over the lid. I'm going to stay with the same shade, and I'm going to run this under my lower lash line. I've just wiped down my brush and I'm going to go into the shade. This one is called, this is Deep Plum. And just going to pop that on the outer corner. And then I'm just going to, just looking straight ahead. I don't want to take it way up, but just take it up a little bit so that when I look straight ahead, you can still see some of the shadow. That is a really beautiful shade. These are blending out really beautifully. And I'm not surprised, like I was saying, I really like the Dior Backstage palettes. With this new formula that's out, I don't really find much of a difference from the previous one. One thing they don't have anymore is this shade up here. It used to be a cream type of eyeshadow primer, which was actually really good. But instead now you just get an extra shade. Then I'm just going to go into the shade here. This is the shade called Pearl, and it is a satin. And I'm going to just put that in the inner corner. And also just going to put a little bit along the lower lash line as well, just through here. And then I'm going to go into this shade here. This is called Smoky Wood. And I'm just going to put a little bit of this on the lower lash line as well, but just on the outer third. Then I'm going to use the matte black shade here to line my upper lash line instead of using an eyeliner. So mascara is now on, and here is the finished look. And it is really pretty. And even though it's fairly new to me, this eyeshadow palette, I know this is going to be one of my everyday type of eyeshadow looks, and that's why I put it in one of my everyday makeup videos. And for blush today, I'm going to use the new Chanel Beiges. This is the Healthy Glow Winter Blush, and this is the one Rose Polare. And I bought all 3 blushes, and I've used the other one Mauve in a previous video. That's when I used the new Beiges eyeshadow palette as well. And I'll pop a link up here if you want to take a look at that. I have tried this blush and I think it is gorgeous. It is a pink. It's got a hint of coral as well. I'm going to use the Chanel blush brush today. And go to there. Just pop some on. I think it is beautiful. And I love it that the blush goes on quite sheer and you can build it up. I think it is gorgeous. That is such a pretty colour. And I've also tried out the coral one as well, and I love that too. I love all 3 of the blushes. And for lipstick, I'm going to use one of the Rouge Coco Balms that came with the collection, and this one is Chilling Pink. The one that I used in the previous video was Keep Cool, but I thought I would show you what this one looks like today. There isn't a lot of pigment to these, but there isn't really with the Chanel balms. I do love the formula, and I love the frosty look that these give. The Keep Cool probably gives a bit more of a frostier look, but this one is still pretty as well. And today I'm going to use one of the Chanel Chance hand creams again. I've used this one and this one, but I think today I will use this one here. This is the original Chanel Chance one. These hand creams are gorgeous. You've seen them in my other videos, but I'll just show you again the formula of them. Just really beautiful, really light. It's not heavy cream at all, and it absorbs really quickly into the skin, leaves a beautiful fragrance, and your skin just feels just silky, silky soft. I'm just going to put some on the other hand now. I put out a little bit too much on this one, but it soaks in really beautifully. I'm just going to put a little bit on my arm as well. I just love the fragrance. I am a huge fan of body lotions, body creams that are fragrance. I have quite a few Dior ones and Chanel ones. I love them. Sometimes instead of wearing a perfume, I just wear creams. And the other day when I did my video, I popped a little bit of the cream just on the side of my neck here. And I could just get just that very faint fragrance, and I thought it was really nice, and it lasted quite a while as well. But I really love the consistency of these creams, really lightweight. They're just beautiful. And like I said before, not only a lovely gift for yourself to gift to you, but also for someone else as well. I think these are still available, but they are limited edition. So here is the finished look, and I love it all. And I wouldn't have put it in one of my everyday makeup videos unless I really love the products. The foundation is gorgeous. So beautiful. Like I was saying, this is back in stock at a lot of retailers. If you want to get a backup, now is the time to do that. If you haven't tried it before, I highly recommend it. It is just such a beautiful foundation. I think it gives my skin just such a beautiful, it gives a softness, and it's just super flattering. The Dior eyeshadow, the Backstage, is lovely, really beautiful. Even though it says Smokey Essentials, it can be used as a really smoky eye look, or just like I use today, more soft. I love it when there is a black in an eyeshadow palette, because I can use that as an eyeliner, or you can use it as a shadow as well if you want to really smoke up the look. But really lovely palette. The Chanel Beiges, the Winter Glow blushes, are just gorgeous. I love all the shades. This one, Rose Polare, is absolutely beautiful. I love it that you can build it up and get it to the intensity that you want, and I also love the embossing on them as well. Just such a beautiful collection from Chanel. And this lipstick is beautiful. There's hardly anything there, but that is the way really that I prefer my lipsticks. I just think it looks really pretty, and definitely goes, this shade and also the other one, Keep Cool, they definitely go with that cold girl look, and I just think it goes really well with the eye look. Just absolutely beautiful. So that's it for today's video. As you can hear, it is pouring. I think you can hear it. It is pouring down outside. But I would love it if you gave it a like and subscribed, and I will see you next time. Bye.